Mr. Depp, I'd like to just ask you about a couple statements Ms. Heard makes in this text message. She first says, just confirm that the cover letter is completely private and has nothing to do with any public record. Do you see that? It's the first sentence in the text message.
Yes, I do.
Do you know what cover letter Ms. Heard is referring to?
No, I don't.
Okay. And then she says, and only included the domestic violence / restraining order stuff because I called the lawyer when the cops were here and I didn't know what to do or why that happened and was scared. Do you see that?
Yes.
Do you know what Ms. Heard is referring to when she said that?
No.
And then dropping down to the bottom, it says 2 lines up, I thought you filed. Do you see that?
Yes.
And do you have any understanding as to why Ms. Heard thought you had already filed?
No. I had on the night of the 20th was when I told her on the phone that I was going to file. For divorce, and in the way that I had explained it, to keep everything nice and calm and even. But on the 23rd, she filed, and so I hadn't had a chance to file.
Your Honor, I would move Plaintiff's Exhibit 487, specifically the portions from page 492 to 494 into evidence.
So you just want page 492 to 494?
Yes, Your Honor, it's a 700-page document, so I
Just page 4, well, are you going to ever put more of 487 in, I guess is the question.
believe so, Your Honor.
So this is 487A?
Certainly, that would make sense.
Okay, so 487A, page 492 to 494. Any objection to those 2 pages?
No, Your Honor.
All right, those 2 pages are in
Is it,
evidence.
just for clarity, is that two pages or 3 pages? Is it 492?
490, that would be 3 pages, if that's
No,
correct.
That's correct.
Okay, 492 to 494, okay.
And could that please be published to the jury? Mr. Depp, Ms. Heard did end up seeking a temporary restraining order against you, correct?
Yes, she did.
And what, I believe you already said this, but could you just remind the jury, what date was that?
The 27th of May.
And where were you when you learned that Ms. Heard had actually filed a temporary restraining order against you?
I don't recall if we had left for Europe as yet. That is the Hollywood Vampires for the tour. So I was either in New York State rehearsing and preparing to go to Europe, or I was already in Europe. I'd have to check the the tour dates.
Did you find out on the 27th or shortly thereafter?
No, I found out on the 27th. It was everywhere.
And what do you mean when you say it was everywhere?
It was multiplying and multiplying and multiplying throughout media, throughout social media, throughout so-called sort of straight media or whatever. And I was taken aback a bit.
If we could take this down and please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 411. Mr. Depp, is this some of the media coverage that you were referring to?
Many things of this nature, yes. Many.
And do you recall actually seeing this specific article?
I don't remember seeing this specific article, but there were already plenty, and certainly more than I was happy to go through. I think once you read one or two of them, the general idea is I mean, the point had been made, clearly.
Your Honor, I'd move Plaintiff's Exhibit 411 into evidence.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
All right, 411 in evidence.
Could we please take this down and pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 414? Mr. Depp,
Yes.
do you recognize this article at all?
I remember yeah, I don't know if it was this one in particular, but I do remember seeing all the various reasons behind her reasons behind her needing to get a temporary restraining order, a TRO against me, which they just started to metastasize into these, there were abuse allegations, and then there was alcohol, and then there was drugs and violence, and it just, it was already right then and there before my eyes spinning out of control. And there was not a word that I could say.
Your Honor, I would move Plaintiff's Exhibit 414 into evidence.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
All right, 414 in evidence.
And if we could take this down now, please, and put up Plaintiff's Exhibit 409. And, Your Honor, if I could move Plaintiff's Exhibit 409 into evidence as well.
Any objection with 409?
No objection.
All right, 409 in evidence. Thank you.
Mr. Depp, do you recall seeing this People magazine article?
Yes, I do.
And when did you see it?
Right when it was released, right when it came out.
Did you speak to anyone about this article?
Yes, I did.
Who did you speak to?
Mostly friends, and my sister Christy, mostly friends, and certainly the band. And my kids. I had to alert them that there might be some ugly things coming out, that were most assuredly going to put me in the position of some violent, drug-addled, alcoholic, just reprobate. And I wanted to warn them before they were approached with the People magazine cover in school by other kids, you know. I wanted to be able to explain to them that this was going to be visible, and it's going to be everywhere, and I apologize to them that this was happening.
Had you ever been accused of physically abusing a woman before this point?
No. No.
How would you describe the impact of these allegations at the time they were made? And Arnold, if you could please take this down.
I've felt ill. I felt sick. I mean, sick in a sense that there was no truth in it. There was no truth in it whatsoever. And the fact that it was coming down on me so hard, and so quickly, and how it gained momentum around the world, and then you notice people looking at you differently. And then you notice calls stop coming from agents and producers and that sort of thing. This was before, in fact, the Me Too movement had come around. This was a while before that, so I couldn't have expected the Me Too movement to happen, but once that happened, then it just went into skyrocket mode. So you're showered with you know, you're running between drops of lava. You're trying to run between raindrops that kill you and destroy you. So I was very confused. I was very hurt because, as I said before, when you're in a relationship and you do give your truth to intimate truths to that person that you're with, and then they start to use all that information and stretch it out into something that is completely shocking, because as I said, it just didn't happen. And so I felt like it was incredibly cruel and treachery. I felt it was treachery. It was I don't know if she wanted me to just be erased or drop dead or just let me stick around and allow her to ruin my life for a while and go out of her way to shame me and hurt my kids and hurt people who I've known for many, many years. No, it was, I mean, to say that it was unfair is about the largest understatement that it's actually the smallest understatement. I mean, it controlled my every waking second from the moment that I woke up until the moment that I dropped, even on the road playing shows. You'd go out and you'd play for an hour and a half or 2 hours, and you'd do your best to get through that. And I can remember getting off of finishing the show, getting on the bus with the other band members, and just going to the back of the bus and just, you know, you had to get it out. So I just sat back in the back of the bus and cried and hid it from people.
Mr. Depp, did you ever discuss Ms. Heard's domestic abuse allegations with any producers or directors in the movie industry?
Only if they fell into the category of friends. For example, Tim Burton, who was one of my dearest friends, and I've known him since we made Edward Scissorhands together in 1990. And we've been very, very, very close friends ever since then. Yeah, just friends, you know. And then, of course, as we were on the road, you know, the fellas in the band, you know, Alice Cooper is the singer of the Vampires, who's a dear friend, and Joe Perry from Aerosmith is in the band, and he's also a dear friend, and then a couple of the other members are just yeah, very close friends, and I was bereft of any. You just don't know what to say anymore. You just know what to. So I tried not to talk about it very much at all.